sustainability, and how is it that we may be able to go back to the same days that what we have been able to understand what actually happened after the First World War and Second World War in United Kingdom and in many of the European countries, as to how are we be able to find to go back to the same classical version and the Keynesian version. When I talk about income redistribution, when I talk about the very basic aspects of poverty, hunger, destitution, economic deprivation, and all the controversial issues that we are able to find, as to how development economics would be able to orient that concept of removing the problem of poverty, removing the problem of hunger, destitution, deprivation, and all these controversies that we are able to find, and what are the issues that are before us, purely in the context of finding as to how do we be able to how do we be able to look to the concept of development as such, and what do we really understand by development, or as to how do we be able to look to the context of economic governance, economic redistribution, and more interesting aspects, deeply embedded inequalities, as to how do you really look to the context of economics, and as to how do you look to the fiction, or how do you be able to look to the economic territories. Maybe if I talk about self-sustenance, or if I talk about energy sector, water and food, production sector, transportation sector, agricultural sector, labor sector, and as to what issues that you really look to the very basic aspect of Indian economy being very much dependent on Indian agriculture, as to how do you look to the center's assistance for agricultural development and states responding to the very basic problems of agriculture, and as to how are we be able to look to the performance of Indian economy with many of the European countries, with many of the Western countries, or maybe as what Dr. Abdul Kalam used to say, that India will overtake China, or India and China would become great powers of the world. No, in that context, how do we look to the economic sustainability, or how do we be able to look to the context of sustainable development, purely in the context of finding as to how the very basic concept of the development, as what was thought over by Mahatma Gandhi ji, Jawaharlal Nehru, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and also Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and in the recent days, as to what is the thing that you really look to Amartya Kumar Sen, when he talks about as to what are the potential issues of the Indian economy, and how do we be able to look to our capabilities, as to what are our argumentative Indians that will be able to find the potentialities, and the very resources also, the capabilities, the social equity, and decentralized governance, fiscal discipline, equal access to facilities, micro enterprises, state economics, steady state territories, agriculture and rural development, federalization, ethnic and religious communities, Reserve Bank of India, fiscal deficit, SIDBI, informal sector. I think in that context, as to what aspects that you really look to, all these are all coordinated aspects. I think there has been a very coordinated approach to the problem of finding as to how the changes that we have seen, either in the agriculture sector or in the industrial sector, and maybe what we talk about SMEs, or as to how do we be able to look to the concept of rural development, the concept of agriculture, industry, and also rural development, and what has been the role of the financial leader, Reserve Bank of India, in finding, and as to what aspects that you really look to the budgetary deficits also, as to how are we not able to accommodate ourselves for the developmental projects. So in that context, how is it that we may be able to look to the very sustainability of the Indian economy, the very sustainability of the economic role of the Indian economy, either in the context of the creation of the environment or in the context of, I think this is what Montek Singh Ahluwalia talks about in the 11th plan document, when you really find as to why these two are very important parameters, education and also health. I think that is what we understand in Dr. Kasturi Rangan's observation also when we are talking of Nalanda and Takshashila, as to what aspects that you really look to the decentralization or maybe of interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary approach to education, and what Montek Singh Ahluwalia talks about only to see that you give education to all people. I think this is one aspect. When I was in some of the Western countries, I could see people were given 100% education. But in Dr. Kasturi Rangan's report, we have been able to understand that gross enrollment ratio is just 26%. And how are we be able to reach 100% gross enrollment ratio by 2050 is a very Herculean task for any government, for any central government or for any state government also. So in that context, the health sector, the tourism sector, and the industry sector also. And now in this COVID-19 Corona, as to how are we be able to recover the Indian economy, as to what are the prospects and what are the uncertainties. I think there you really find as to how uncertainties and expectations are very, very important for any economy, and as to how do we be able to look to any model of development. Maybe if I understand Herodomer model of development, or maybe Schumpeter's development model, or maybe in the context of finding dualism model. All these models of development where we really talk about as to how our sister states, maybe if I talk about Kerala model of development, or if I talk about Tamil Nadu model of development, or if I talk about Punjab model of development, or if I talk about some of the issues that are very much there in the context of finding as to what issues that you really look to purely in the context of tapping the resources. I think this is one aspect what our Honorable Prime Minister is talking about, whether it is a demand-oriented economics or supply-oriented economics. I think that is one aspect where you really understand in the neoclassical version also. Maybe Alfred Marshall, David Ricardo, and J.S. Mill, who all talk about as to why are you worried about the wealth? Why are you not worried about welfare? I think that is one aspect. One aspect what Alfred Marshall talks about, the range of inquiry becomes restricted to that part of social welfare, which can be measurable directly or indirectly into relationship with the measuring rod of money. The most urgent wants of the poor people will have to be satisfied at the cost of the less urgent wants of the poor rich people. So in that context, the model of development that we are able to find, or maybe even in the Italian thinkers like Wilfredo Pareto and J.D.B. Graff, who all talk about welfare-oriented economics. I think that is one aspect where you really talk about John Tinbergen, Richard Lipsey, Kelvin Lancaster, and also Tibor Sitowiski. But particularly, I am very much impressed by Pareto approach and also JDB Graff approach, the teacher-student approach of finding that the proof of pudding is indeed in the eating. The welfare cake, on the other hand, becomes so hard to taste that we should sample its ingredients before baking. I think this is one interesting question as to what actually happened in the later Keynesian version, or maybe if I talk about the models of development that were applied by Austrians, applied by Germans, applied by United States also. I think that is what Mr. Donald Trump, when he became the president of United States of America, as to how is it that the Native Americans should be given all employment opportunities, and how Native Americans should be protected. I think that is exactly the Joe Biden's argument, the president-elect of United States of America, who talks about as to how all of us should take human kind, human beings into that aspect. And I think in that context, when Indian economy was passing through a deep recession, negative growth of development, fiscal crisis, and there was a necessity of pumping money into the economy. I think this is what actually happened when Mr. Barack Obama was the president of United States of America. He could see that more money was pumped into the economy by the public sector. Now, this is one aspect where you really find as to how do we be able to make our public sector being supportive or being supplementary to the private sector, and as to how do we be able to pump money into the economy, and how are we be able to make a private sector to become very strong also. And in that context, as to why do you find that there are many European countries in India? I think that is what one aspect I want to talk about. That there are many European countries in India, though we have 30 states. All these 30 states are working like European countries. Maybe some of them are revenue surplus states, some of them are revenue deficit states, and there you really look to the context of expansionary fiscal policy also. I think that this is one Dr. Manmohan Singh, when he was talking about Narega also, when he was the prime minister, and when he was the finance minister. I remember Dr. Manmohan Singh's days, which were very golden days for the Indian economy, when he was able to concentrate on those issues that were very much necessary, either from the supply side economics, what Arthur Laffer used to tell when Mr. Ronald Reagan was the president of United States of America. And this is one aspect where you really find when Dr. Manmohan Singh became the finance minister in 1991. As to the major step that Dr. Manmohan Singh took was to see that expansionary fiscal policy, as to how the effective supply chain management and the interrelationship between poverty and development also. I think that is one aspect where what John Maynard Keynes also talks about, and that is what the many European scholars, even when you talk about Nicholas Calder also or Gunnar Myrdal also, all of them talk about as to why there has been a friction, or why there has been some uncertainty, and why there are certain expectations to the context of finding as to how are we be able to link, maybe linking sustainable development to the supply chain management, or linking that JB says economics to the demand oriented economics that was advocated by Keynes and his followers. And that is what aspect that you really talk about in Professor Samuelson's analysis also, where Professor Samuel talks about more of a development orientation, and how are we be able to take all these tough situations, and how are we be able to overcome the problems of poverty and unemployment, and how there is a necessity of controlling this inflationary pressure. I think that is one very interesting question when you really talk about when GDP has been worst hit, and mobilization and accumulation of resources. I think GST, what Nirmala Sitharaman talks about, that there has been a big role of GST in making the stabilization of the economy, resources and also funds, and deficit financing, and pilot projects that are to be undertaken in rural India and also urban India. But major attention has to be given to the rural India, because rural India and urban India, there is a dichotomy. When I was in the United Kingdom, I could see that there was no dichotomy between rural England and also urban England. But here in India, you find that there has been a dichotomy between rural India and also urban India, and rural mega projects and urban mega projects also, power projects, large projects, financial progress, integration of financial global aspects regarding all mobilization of resources, the production aspect, the distribution aspect, and and more banking aspects. And a more interesting question is particularly from the point of the farmers' suicides that are being taking place. Particularly, these are all very very crucial issues. And how are we be able to have that India, the shine India, and then greater India, and India should become Vishwa Guru. That is what our Honorable Prime Minister talks about. That India should become Vishwa Guru. In that context, I feel personally happy to address all of you, all of my friends are they're here, and I feel greatly honored, and I feel greatly respected to address all of you on an international webinar organized by Bangalore University Department of Studies in Economics, and all credit goes to the economics people. Dr. Manmohan Singh said in one of the conferences that economists should rule the whole world. I think that is a great word that has come from Dr. Manmohan Singh. And why economics is very important, or why economic policies, economic welfare, social welfare, the general welfare, all of them are very important. And how do we able to find that all these would be able to take that concept of economics and also friction, and that would be able to find that there has been an assimilation, there has been a coordination, that there has been a holistic approach that we can be able to look to the forthcoming economic development issues. I thank you very much for having given me this opportunity, and I thank you very much for patient hearing from all the. And I wish you all the best, all the people, all my economics fraternity friends who have come on the video conference. My best congratulations, my best wishes to all of you. Um, uh, Please do come to Kuvempu University. I'm the Vice Chancellor of a great university which has established its own reputation on academic front. I invite all of you to come to Kuvempu University to see as to what has been our academic excellence. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for your esteemed special lecture, sir. We are blessed to have your lecture, sir. It's very nice. It's very nice, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your presence, sir. Thank you for your presence and your precious time devoted to us, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So, may I please?
Thank you, sir. Whenever we listen to Professor B.P.V., always it's a good, humorous lecture with lot of experience of economics. Professor covered the issues of COVID-19 and its impacts on various sectors of Indian economic, like center-state relations, what would be its impact on poverty, discussing various issues of models of development and all that, and how whatever measures undertaken will impact on the production distribution system of the economy. So ultimately, towards the end, he made a statement: the economy should rule the world. I think that is the statement what we should remember always. Not the economist. The economy should rule the world. Whoever is the administrator, but he should take economically wise decisions. So I think, thank you very much, sir. Wonderful talk we had. Thank you very much. And also, I'm thankful to you for sticking to the time given, 15 minutes. Thank you very much. Now, I am happy to introduce Professor Nabovi NTE, Professor of Intelligence and Security Studies, Novena University, Nigeria. Professor Knight will be speaking about the impending World War III, man versus virus and global security. A very interesting topic. I hope that we will have a wonderful lecture from the respected professor. Please bring Professor Knight on the screen. Puneet, please bring Professor Knight on screen. Yeah, Professor, I hope you are hearing us.
Yeah.
Punit, go on.
Yes. Yes. Good afternoon, Nobuji. Good afternoon.
Am I visible?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Nobuji Naite. Good afternoon.
Are you listening, sir?
Yes,
Yes.
Professor.
Yes, we are very happy, sir. We are very happy to have you, sir, in our conference, international conference. We are very much blessed.
Yes.
We are not seeing you on
Yes.
screen.
Yes. Am I audible?
You are
Yes, sir,
audible.
you are clearly audible, sir. You are clearly audible.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
you are
Yes,
audible. You are
you are
audible.
audible, sir.
Punit, please share the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think now we are.
No,
visible.
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
you are visible.
I am not presenting with any paper. I was given 15 minutes to do a talk. So I'm just going to talk to us, on the basis of what I know very well. So there is no paper to share on the screen, but I'm going to do my presentation offhand. I guess I'm free to do that.
Yes, sir, you can.
Okay. So greetings to all of you, the organizers of this auspicious program. It is with a great pleasure that I send you greetings from Novena University, Nigeria. I send you greetings from the Department of Intelligence and Security Studies, Novena University. And I would like to thank the organizers, the International Science Fiction Conference, and of course, the Humanity and Social Sciences of Bangalore University, India. I will especially thank my friend and my colleague, Professor Sashi Kumar. He's been a wonderful friend of mine, and I'm most grateful to him for this wonderful opportunity to share thoughts with colleagues from all over the world.
Thank you, sir.
In the impending World War III, man versus virus, and global security. I chose this topic on the basis of the reality that we face today as humans and the impending rapacious invasion of COVID-19 as we are facing today. I do remember that in the years gone by, we used to watch science fiction that tried to present how biological weapons are being manipulated by scientists and non-state actors, terrorists, to bring so much pain and destruction upon mankind. But I speak today from the point of view of reality, even as we are facing one of the greatest attacks in human history. It is no gainsaying the fact that today the world is at a standstill. Economies of the world have been devastated. Millions of people have been infected by this virus. Many people have died. Even the so-called advanced countries of the world are not immune from this disaster. What am I trying to say? I am saying that a new world security order is emerging, where rather than being too afraid of the effect of nuclear weapons, rather than being too afraid of intercontinental ballistic missiles, I think the world should be more concerned with the manipulation of microorganisms, especially the viruses, as they have a lot to do when it comes to human security and safety. It is my candid opinion, as an expert of security studies that the new theater of war has shifted from the physical battlefield, as it were, has shifted from the threats of intercontinental ballistic missiles, has shifted from nuclear weapons to the laboratories where scientists, either out of sheer adventure or a show of supremacy, or countries in the quest of supremacy amongst themselves, will move into the laboratory, get some of these deadly viruses together, and manipulate them and release them on the entire universe. That is the situation we are facing right now as humans. And I can tell you that because this has started, nations, adversaries, non-state actors, terrorists, and even overzealous scientists will not rest, as they will now always be busy to go to the laboratories to ensure that new viruses are created, old ones are manipulated, and their genes presented in such a way that at every point in time, they will become very deadly and potent biological weapons. We live in a perilous life right now. Mankind is faced with very precarious situation, and this has nothing to do with the level of civilization and advanced technology, as it were. Because if it is so, the advanced countries of this world would have been immune from this disaster. As we speak today, it is even the so-called advanced countries of this world that are facing more of this disaster. And I wouldn't want to be bothered about who started this war, because there are a lot of conspiracy theories around the world with regards to who did what and how. But the truth remains that from my own conviction, we have shifted our theater of warfare from the physical attacks from jet bombers, from intercontinental ballistic missiles, from nuclear weapons, to the manipulation of microorganisms. And I can tell you that this new reality is so scary, because even terrorists and those who are not certified to carry out some of this manipulative scientific research will have a leeway, because there will be no serious control as to who manipulates these viruses. And my fear has always been that as long as we have people who are interested in the destruction of the human race, including terrorists in different countries of the world, there is actually no guarantee that we are safe as humans. That is my concern, and it should be the concern of all of us. As I speak to you right now, the economies of a lot of countries is down. My country, Nigeria, went into recession 2 weeks ago, and I can tell you that almost all the economies of advanced countries of this world have gone into recession. I may not be able to give you the exact figures because I will need to do further research, but mankind is battling with one of the greatest economic challenges of all times that can only be comparable with the Spanish flu of the 1918, 1919, and of course the Great Depression of the 1930s. Trillions of dollars have been lost, companies have shut down, shares value have collapsed, and what else can we say? We are actually in the midst of a third world war. And who is fighting us? Human beings are not fighting us. The viruses are fighting us. And the economies of our world has collapsed. Mankind is gasping for survival because all our economies are being choked. Movements are restricted, and these viruses can actually be transmitted from one country to another even as we move from one country to another. So even when we have the anticipated virus as we are all expecting, I'm afraid if there will be no mutation, if these viruses will not be re-manipulated and new strains that will be resistant to the vaccine that we are trying to launch will not come there. For me, this is my concern. For me, this is no longer science fiction. For me, this has brought the entire human race to the same pedestal. Nobody can talk about the advanced countries or the developing countries anymore because this is a matter of global concern. For the economists who actually pioneered and sustained this conference, you and I know that there is no way economic activities can take place genuinely without security. There is no place economic growth and development can be effected without safety and security. And right now, microorganisms are on the offensive. A lot of political manipulation, a lot of political instability, a lot of economic instability is being expected. Even when we're able to conquer this vaccine, you can be rest assured that the after economic shock will affect the entire world, not just in India, not just in Africa, not just in the United States, not just in Israel, not just in Europe, and indeed all over the world. This is what I refer to as the Third World War. This is what I refer as the battle between man and virus. And one will ask, what is the way out? This is a matter for global concern. Mankind must come together. Every interracial prejudices should be, jettisoned so that we can see ourselves together as a human race. Together, we can put ourselves together. Together, we can carry every member of the global world together so that we'll have less angry people who can manipulate these viruses to attack us as the human race. Because if we don't do that, we are going to get ourselves in greater problems. Remember that it has been established from previous studies that terrorism and aggression and frustration most times are product of economic inequality, occasioned by the manipulation of the ruling class against those that do not have access to the means of production. So I can tell you categorically that we should try as much as possible as nations, as institutions, as groups to try to put in place programs and policies that will narrow the gap between the haves and have-nots. That way, we'll reduce the population of angry and frustrated people. We will reduce the population of non-state actors. We will reduce the population of terrorists. We will reduce the population of those who can, say, okay, since you do not allow me to have access to resources, I'm going to go into the laboratory and I'll be able to shake the world by unleashing deadly virus on the human race. This is my humble presentation, and I believe that together as humans, we shall continue to put our heads together, and together we can solve this problem and make this world a better place to live together, a better place to share ideas, a better place to engineer growth and economic development, and together we shall make this world a safe place to live. Thank you, and God bless you all. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for your exemplary issues related the security and the global critical issues. We are very happy, sir. We are very happy to hear about you related to the concerned issues. And one more thing, sir. I welcome Dr. Gautam Naresh, sir. Professor Gautam Naresh, sir. You are most welcome to our conference, sir. You are most welcome. Please unmute, sir. Please unmute your. Professor Gautam Naresh, sir. Please unmute, sir. Professor Gautam Naresh, please unmute yourselves. Yes, sir. Yes. Please unmute yourself. Yes, sir, it's unmuted. You are most welcome, sir, to our international conference. Gautam, sir. We can't hear you, sir. We can't hear you. Gautam Naresh, sir. So one of the things that I would like to say some. If you have stage like that now. Okay, thank you. Over to Dr. Putsomaya, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Nobaji in night. You gave a wonderful speech on security is important. Security is not only internal, external also. We should worry not only on physical attack, but also on the attack which is being faced by several countries across the world. That is microorganisms attack. So a wonderful talk we had from you. Thank you very much, sir, for giving a wonderful speech. Now I would like to call upon Professor M.N. Ramesh.
Hello, Putsomaya, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, Putsomaya, sir. 1 minute. Yeah, I want to give some space and time to Professor NT, sir. If any questions will be there, let them ask one question to him. Because since he's come from outside the country. Yeah. Any question? Any question to him from anybody? Professor Gautam Naresh, sir, do you have any questions to him?
Sir, we are in between. Another half an hour.
Sir? Professor Veerbhadrappa, sir, you please unmute and you can ask any question related. Sir, you can ask to him, sir, since he came from the security side. You can ask any question related to either it is a economic security or global security or whatever the security you want to.
Thank you for giving me opportunity once again. I wanted to tell myself and Dr. Shashi Kumar are London School of Economics friends. yeah.
Thank you very much.
God, we are international friends. He was also in London School of Economics. I was also in London School of Economics. Now the question that I have as to how do you be able to find that the Asian economies, particularly, I think that is one serious question. One serious question that has actually come purely in the context of finding as to how Asian economies and European economies, because this has been international conference, I want to ask him as to how are you be able to link the economic development paradigms of Asian economies, European economies, and Western economies. In a sentence or two, I want to tell that all these economies are wedded with the same resource parameters, with resource indicators. But the intelligence of any economy, as what I was telling Dr. Manmohan Singh when he was the finance minister and when he was the prime minister, he was able to make Indian economy to survive on its own legs. I think in that context, as to how he will feel the interlink of Asian economies or Southeast Asian economies also. Maybe the example of Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, South Korea, and all those countries, because they are already in a 2-digit GDP growth. this is one aspect that I want to know from him, as to how do you link the economic paradigm, development paradigms for all these Asian economies, European economies, and Western economies. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much for your question, sir. Let me see whether he is there online or not, sir. Professor Nishbogi Nitesh, sir. Hello. Hello. Professor Nitesh, sir. Okay, sir. We will pass the question to him, sir. Let me see how he will answer our question, sir.
I will take liberty,
sir.
I will ask my good friend Dr. Shashi Kumar to answer this question.
Since it is a security, it is more issued, sir. Even I had written one book on economic security issues, particularly compared to that of the developed economy as well as the developing economy. In that context, it's very good, sir. And we will have to take care of this more important thing, that is economic security is more important nowadays, particularly in this pandemic situation. We have experienced more important issues nowadays. That is the thing, sir. We should try to get in a better extent, sir. That's my answer. Okay. Because since other persons are waiting to speak.
Okay.
That is the thing, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your comments about this, sir.
Yeah.
And your active participation.
Thank you.
Being a vice chancellor, your active participation. Thank you, sir.
I would be with you till the end.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes,
thank you, Professor Virubhadrappa, sir. So now I think it's time to welcome Professor M.N. Ramesh to speak on pandemic, environment, and society. So 3 different issues. We will have good perspective from political science background. So please, sir, Professor M.N. Ramesh. Professor is professor at Department of Political Science, Rani Channamma University, Belgavi. Sir, over to you.
First of all, thank you, sir. And good afternoon to all the respected dignitaries. And my special thanks to the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Kuampu University, who is on board with us. I'm very happy that I'm able to speak in front of the Vice Chancellor, sir, and respected all the economic professors. I'm the one who is from the political science background. And still, I'm an assistant professor. I'm not a professor from the Rani Channamma University, Belagavi, but I'm the product of the Bengaluru University. I'm the student of Raman sir, Nasimurthy sir, Veena madam, and all, my batchmate Surendra. And they are the one who have given me an opportunity to present my views. So I kindly request the organizer to share my PPT. Can I share my PPT and present my views?
If it is available, just check it.
You please share screen, no? Permission
has been given to you. Okay, sir. Okay. Please.
Yes, it's seen.
Yes, sir.
You make it full screen, sir. Yes, it's visible.
Yeah. Once again, myself, I'm Dr. Ramesh, and Assistant Professor, Department of Political Science, Rani Channamma University. And the topic which I chosen to talk on the science fiction, because something like that, I'm speaking on the positive impact of the pandemic, particularly on the coronavirus, because it's kind of a dream. Can it be possible? So in the science, everything is possible. That what we believe and what we think. Nothing is impossible. So already we are in the process of finding the vaccination for the coronavirus. In a similar way, can it possible to have something like a good environment and the society, and environment and the society can make something a very beautiful impact on the pandemic and control the pandemic and other views. That's what today I'm going to talk. So the first thing is that, as you all know, that it is worldwide affected. This COVID-19 or this pandemic is worldwide affected. More than 208 nations were affected with this coronavirus. And just I wanted to say that tomorrow we may write history, rewrite history in like pre-COVID and post-COVID effect, because the civilization's advancement. That's what my point. Because of the civilizations, that means whatever the so there is some disturbance. Yeah. So today, that if you are facing the entire world is facing such a hard phase because of the pandemic. In the sense, that's all advancement of the civilization. But I'm not saying that advancement is bad for the welfare of the people. But advancement is required. But too much advancement, or if it is going to affect the environment of the society, in a sense, really we need to go ahead to this virus or the pandemic. That's what presently all of us we are facing. We are not able to do anything in front of the virus. Tomorrow the day may come to control the virus once the vaccination comes. Until that, we need to follow certain guidelines. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Tell me, sir. You are audible.
You're
audible, please.
Okay. So.
Yes, sir. Please.
So there is some disturbance in the background. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. So before I move on to my dream use, that what the positive impact we can have on from the pandemic. Just I want to give a few. Just I wanted to give a few note or the point on the negative impact of the COVID-19, because we all know that what is already happening and happened because of the COVID-19. So the COVID-19 is disturbed our total economical system, and all economical professors are here on board, and they'll accept that our economy is come to the standstill, and it has gone down like anything. And again, we come back to the main stage. In the sense, it's quite difficult. But all this possible only if the man comes out with a good environmental policy, or it may be with good societal thoughts. So if you take example of the chief economic advisor to the government of India, he says that we are economically we're affected very badly. Even to the Ministry of Statistics in the fiscal year 2020, they says that 3.1% we are at presently. And if you take example of employment issues, many of them are lost their jobs because of the lockdown. More than 6.7% on 15th March 2022 till 19th April 2020, 26%, 6.7 to 26%. There are issues with employment. Many were unemployed. More during the lockdown, estimated 14 crores or the 140 million people lost the employment, and till today, many of them are not able to get a full salary. The one who was, maybe even if I take example of our own teaching community who are working in the private sector, they're not able to get a full salary. They may be getting a 50% salary, or it may be 70% salary, but it is becoming a very hard to manage our livelihood. More than 45% of the household, their income has dropped, and Indian economy expected to lose 32,000 crores. That means US dollar 4.5 millions every day during the first 21 days of our complete lockdown. This is what economy and employment issues. Just giving a points. Later, I'll move towards the positive effect of the pandemic. Migrant workers, an estimated 139 million migrant workers That's what it's estimated, and they're all affected. More than 400 million workers would be poverty stricken. And on all of us, we are seeing through television that how the migrant workers were walking on the highways to reach to their native places. But I feel that is one of the greatest disaster for the entire, particularly I feel, because the government has not taken any initiative to ensure that they can reach safely to their native places. But instead of that, they are walking miles together, kilometers together. They were walking to reach their places just only because of the pandemic. So if you take that's one of the study that the Azim Premji University and the Center for the Study of Developing, they conducted in 2019, estimated that 29% of the population in big cities, that's a daily wage workers, they are the one who are very much affected with this pandemic. Particularly, we can say that big cities like Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, or Kolkata, or it may be Chennai, they the daily wages worker. That's what another example we can take, that just 2 days back on Saturday there was a Bandh in Karnataka, but again tomorrow is again is going to be a Bharat Bandh. But whatever the causes may be, tomorrow the causes is particularly for the farmers issue. But whatever the causes may be, but one thing we should not forget that that's only because of daily wages. People are the one who are the greatly affected, and for their day-to-day life is going to be again and again is going to be very difficult, and it's very difficult situations because of the pandemic, I can say that. And the present COVID situation, so all of you know that I'm not going to give much of details about that. So one of the United Nations, that's according to United Nations, an additional 207 million people could be pushed into extreme poverty by 2030. See, this is what the situations because of the pandemic. More than 207 million people, they are going to be in extreme poverty. Okay, so again, United Nations Development Program has found that extreme poor will be more than a billion in 2030. So this is why it's happening. This is whatever the statistics, and all of the economical professors are here, respected economical professors are here. They all accept that our economy, social, agriculture, everything is affected by the pandemic. Then what are the solutions we have? So everyone starts blaming the pandemic, or it may be a coronavirus and all. But I feel that I'm not in. That means corona is giving good things to people. But one thing, if you look into the positive impact of the corona, as we have two faces for every coin. Similarly, there is a disaster from the pandemic, as well as some good things is also is there from this corona pandemic. Those good things, if you able to, if all of us or the government is taken care, definitely we can somewhere we can control such a kind of situations in such a way that tomorrow again coronavirus like virus or any other situation may not arise. So, see, the point is that why this pandemic has arisen, maybe because that we are challenging the mother nature. We are challenging the mother nature. The beauty of the earth is completely destroyed with this the human advancement. So, if the nature, if we able to take care of the human nature, so tomorrow and today we all can able to lead a beautiful life. Maybe advancements is required, but we need to give much importance for the safeguard of our mother nature. So tangible improvement in the nature have made us to believe earth can be saved. One thing we can, all of us, I think all the professors and all of us, we can accept that this lockdown has proved that yes, we can save the earth. Whatever the global warming is there, all the global warming and whatever the issues with the environment is there, everything is given an answer with this. Everything we can able to find an answer with this lockdown. So because of this, I'm very surely says that the lockdown has given many answers to the environment and the society, that we can save the earth or the mother nature. it has made to see that our actions can very well impact on the earth sensibility. One, the lockdown has made the earth sustainable. So why can't see there may be a problem or the different issues with the lockdown, but see, long lockdown is maybe going to affect the everyone. It may be daily wages or the industry, or it may be others. But what I feel that in a month, or it may be in a week, if we able to close the entire or go for a lockdown, so that the environment or the mother India or the mother nature can be saved. So, as one example, that Arvind Kejriwal, the chief minister of the Delhi state, he has taken in some of the issue, some of the that means decision in such a way that the cars with odd number and even number can be played alternative days. Like that, some of the policies, if it comes out in such a way that we can to save the earth, definitely we can control the pandemic. You see this like for breathing pure air, to greener trees, spotting various wildlife, animals in the city, that means in other places, and the things, the change in the environment, all this is possible because of the lockdown. If I take example of Delhi is one of the worstly affected with air pollution. So I'll show you the picture that you can able to imagine.
Professor
Yes, sir?
Ramesh,
Yes, sir.
please make it bit fast.
Yeah, yes, sir. Just another 5 minutes. I'll finish up.
Thank you.
Sorry. Okay. So air pollution, or it may be any environmental issues, is solved because of the lockdown. That what I wanted to point out. Outbreak is also provided cover for all our illegal activities such as deforestation and the poaching, and as just I was pointing out, that Delhi is mostly affected with environmental issues or the air pollutions. If you see this, the picture, we can understand that this before lockdown and after the lockdown. See this, the clarity in the second picture, that how the skies is so beautiful, and the things, the bird songs we are able to listen very loudly because there was no outside noise. It may be from the car, or maybe bike, or maybe from the human being. All small animals are able to fly very freely and happily. See, this is another picture which is taken during the lockdown. As a result of the lockdown imposed due to due to COVID-19, this picture is taken in the Navi Mumbai. The birds normally migrate to this area every year, but residents have reported that this year they have seen massive increase in this number. So this is another picture just I wanted to share with all of you, that there's the Ganga now is cleaned. So we may spend a lot of money for the cleaning Ganga. That's on the project of a Namami Ganga. But I don't know that how much Ganga is purified or not. But this pandemic or the lockdown definitely cleaned our Ganga or the river. That's the Ganga river. So wildlife animals also survived. It may be the fishing, or it may be or any other animals also they able to survive. So like that, there are so many positive impact on the society. So particularly the relationship, if I take example, the relationship, there are people who came from the foreign countries, they may be not able to lead their life with their parents. Not only the people who are in the foreign countries, even in our family also, our father, mother, or it may be anyone, they are very busy with their work and all these things, but they started staying in the house because of the lockdown. A kind of a very good relationship was developed because of the lockdown. Maybe there will be some people they argue says that no, there are some diverse cases and there is some fight and all these things. But I personally feel that those who are respect the family, definitely they find a kind of a new life beginning with the family because of the lockdown, a better future and a and a better families also reconnect. I can say that crime rate, particularly crime rate, has come down. So likewise, there are so many things. And if you take come to the education sector, today all of us, there is nothing like that. I may be in a Belgaum, I need to come to Bangalore to present my paper. I'm in a Belgaum, and I can sit here only, I can present my paper. That is only because of this pandemic. So we are able to connect each one of us through online events or the online programs, and even in education sector, MOOC, particularly the Swayam, generating a wonderful response. There are more than 1,900 courses, and many of the students are enrolling, and freely they are getting an education. Only thing is that we should have the knowledge of the online courses. It may be IGNO, or it may be any of the many universities are now moving towards the online courses and all these things like that. There are so many things which I wanted to tell, that pandemic maybe created a disaster, but it has brought a lot of issues and challenges and adjustability to the people in such a way that it has given a positive impact on the human being also. This is what my small submission to the August gathering, and I'm very grateful and thankful to the Bangalore University Vice Chancellor and Professor Shashikumar sir, and my good friend Surendra and Ramana sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over to put some now, please.
Thank you, Professor Ramesh, giving a wonderful talk on the status of COVID-19 and its impact on economy and labor and all that. So, and also you try to bring out the positive impacts of the COVID impact. What my suggestion is, if we are able to conduct a cost-benefit analysis, so then we will be able to say whether it is positive or negative. So anyway, leaving that, thank you very much for giving a wonderful lecture. Now I would like to call upon Professor Ajit Desai, who was working with us in the department, and Professor Desai was our teacher when we were doing our masters. So Professor is speaking on Indian 15th Finance Commission, its first report and analysis. I think we will be having a good speech from Professor Desai. Sir, over to you. Puneet, please bring Professor Desai to on screen.
Namaskara, sir. Kelsta idea, sir.
Hello.
Sir, namaskara. Kelsta idea, sir. Sir, you are most welcome to the. Please proceed, sir.
Not on screen. Puneet.
Hello.
Yes, sir. It's on screen, sir.
1 minute. Okay.
Yes.
At the outset, I must thank the young Turks, headed by Dr. Shashikumar, Dr. Samata, Dr. Ramanna, Dr. Putsami, and the host of all those youngsters who are in this webinar. And when Professor Shashikumar asked me to speak few words about any topic in fiction, I wonder really how it is fiction is connected to economics. Anyway, I think it is a kind of fiction only. Anyway, how now I want to speak on Finance Commission report for the financial year 2021 and analysis. You know that Finance Commission is a constitutional body appointed by the government of India, particularly the President of India, for a period of 5 years. And during the second report will be from 21 to 26. The second report is submitted very recently. It will be discussed in the parliament and then it will be revealed. Now it is not being revealed. Therefore, I am speaking about the recommendations of the first report of the 15th Finance Commission. You know that 15th Finance Commission started work from 2017 and took little longer hours because of uncertainties and other things. And in the case of your Finance Commission report, I want to share the screen with all of you and then analyze what are the recommendations of the report. And the first thing is devolution of taxes to the states. The share of the state in the center's taxes is recommended to be decreased from 42% during the 15-20 period to 41% 2021. In other words, 1% less because of the union territories created by Jammu and Kashmir, and therefore they wanted to keep it 1% for that. In other words, the Finance Commission is supposed to recommend exactly how much money is to be given to each state based on several criterias, very interesting criterias, and sometimes these criteria become little problematic for certain countries, sorry, certain states, and therefore there were some of the so-called complaints, and as a result they have been revised the criterias and allocated the fund distribution between the states and the center. Now we'll come to this criteria of devolution. You see the table here, 14th Finance Commission, this one, and then 15th Finance Commission 2021. So they have nearly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 criteria. First criteria is income distance criteria. Income distance criteria is nothing but the income from the state with the highest income of the state. That means the state's income varies from one to another. Therefore, they will consider the income of the state, which has been computed as an average per capita GSDP during the 3-year period, and then they will allocate it. Therefore, distance means here what is the highest income distance state and lowest income distance state, and that in this distance will be calculated and given to that one. In this case, they have taken 50% of the so-called criteria, that means weightage. This is nothing but a weightage was given in the 14th Finance Commission, whereas it is being reduced to 45%. Why they have been reduced? Just because income may be more for certain states, small states, and maybe less for big states. Therefore, it cannot be given so much of weightage. 50% weightage is so much. Therefore, they reduced to 45. It is a welcome one. The second criteria was population, which usually they used to take 1971 population, and therefore they have given 17.5 in the 14th Finance Commission. It was opposed by many of the state governments because population of 1971 varies and population of 2011 is varies. There's a lot of differences, and therefore it creates a problem. Therefore, this report, that is the first report of the 15th Finance Commission, recommended population of 2011. And here they have given 15% weightage instead of 10% that they have given in the earlier case. Therefore, this is another criteria that has been decided. Therefore, 15% is again a better one because big states having a big population may be benefited very much in this case. And the area, third one is area, that is geographical area, that is having 15% or 15 point is the indicator, or so-called criteria. And the forest cover was earlier, it was 7.5% in the 14th Constitution. Now it is not being taken into account because they included forest and ecology and given a weightage of 10%. And most important point that we have to note is demographic performance. Many of the southern states like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Andhra, they complained against the recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission because they have not given any importance to the demographic performance. What is demographic performance? Demographic performance means the decreasing the fertility of the people and reducing the number of births, and thereby proving the better performer in the case of population control. And therefore, this was accepted, and therefore they are given weightage of 12.5%. And the next one is the so-called tax efforts. Again, the 14th Finance Commission did not give any importance to the so-called performance in the tax collection, tax efforts, income resource donations, and particularly certain states were against this one. And now this commission has recommended 2.5% as a so-called weightage. Therefore, in this way, out of 100 weightage given to the distribution of this fund, they have given 45 to the income distribution, population 15, area 15, forest ecology 10, demographic percent 12.5, tax efforts 2.5. Totally, out of this, they wanted to recommend for the distribution, in this case is 8,55,176 crore. 8,55,176 crore of the amount has to be shared within these so-called states. But usually, I told you, in order to maintain the equity, they have given considered the population of 2011, 15%. As a result, most of the BMR states, what we call higher population states, will get higher cake. For example, In the Uttar Pradesh, I think 1,53,000 crore they are getting, whereas in Karnataka we are getting only 31,000 crore 180 as per the distribution of the taxes between the states. And therefore, usually Bihar is second, then comes the third is about Madhya Pradesh. Again, I told you those Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh. So these are the Bihar states which are getting more cake in the tax distribution. And therefore, they say that there's a need for uh, grants as such. Though the 14th Finance Commission was not ready to give any kind of grants, and these people were ready to give it, and therefore you can see there is a grant part of this one. What is grant in aid? They have recommended the 2021 the following grants should be given to the states. First, they call it as revenue deficit grants. That means where there is a revenue deficit is there. Usually most of these states are having this revenue deficit. Revenue deficit means the deficit between the revenue collected. We can say that rather than revenue account and capital account is there. In the revenue account, they must be there. In other words, therefore, this is a revenue deficit grants have to be given to certain states. Then second grant is grant to the local bodies has to be given. This is the second one. Third one is perhaps most important one is disaster management grant. You know the disaster that is taking place, floods, that this one. Therefore, disaster management grants is also recommended. And this commission is also proposed to framework the sector-specific performance based on grants. Therefore, state-specific grants are also being provided in this final report will be given. That they are exactly clear. Then I said, what is this one? The revenue separate grant 2021, 14 states are estimated to have an aggregate revenue deficit of 74,000 crore post devolution, and therefore these opening grants have been recommended. How much grant has to be given to each state? Again, here you can see the deficit is very high in Uttar Pradesh, followed by Maharashtra. Then I think we have this Bihar, and ours is I think almost less. It is just 5.29%. In other words, we are having a better performance. Karnataka is having a better performance, particularly southern states like Andhra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. They have a better performance in this case. Fiscal Responsibility Act is being followed. And since there are special grants are given, I told you the special grants are given to those three states only, particularly Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Mizoram and Telangana. These states are having the these grants, special grants, because I told you there is a better performance of the state as well as other things. And then regarding the sector-specific grants are also being recommended. That is recommendation of nearly 7,375 crore for nutrition purpose, and the special grants are also given for health purpose. I think health is taking more and more, I think, because of this pandemic, and we expect very high, and they are recommending even 2% of GDP in the health sector. Most probably, it will be a top priority in the grants. Pre-primary education, judiciary, rural connectivity, railways, police training, and housing. These are the areas where the sector-specific grants are expected in the final report. And performance-based grants are also being given. As I told you, performance is very important, not only in the tax efforts and the others, but also others. Therefore, they include implementation of agricultural reforms, development of aspirational districts and blocks, and the power sector reforms, enhancement of the exports, and incentive for education, promotion of domestic and international tourism. Grant amount will be provided to in the final report. Particularly already submitted. That support is to be discussed in the parliament, most probably in the next month, and that will be coming from 21-26 onwards. And regarding the local bodies grant, when you said this total grants of local bodies is almost 90,000 crore, of which 60 crore is recommended for local bodies, 67.5%, and 27,250 crore for urban local bodies. Therefore, urban local bodies and these also recommending, and therefore our Panchayat Raj system will be definitely improving if these grants are provided to them. They will give definitely, because it is a mandatory body. They have to recommend and they have to give it, and they will get it. The question is allocation of this 4.3 is the divisible pool, which is increases over the local bodies in the previous period, and the grants will be divided between the states based on the population and area, as I told you, in the 90-10 basis. So population is the criteria. So grants will be divided between the states based on population and area in the ratio 90-10. The grants will be made available to all the three tiers of panchayat, village, block, and states. That means again the Finance Commission tries to maintain maintain the leveling field between the developed states and developing states and backward states. And most of the backward states are getting, because higher population is more only. 90-10 means 90% population criteria, 10% is criteria. And therefore, I think this seems to be a better choice. The next one is about disaster management, disaster risk management. They have recommended setting up of the national and state disaster funds and the promotion of the local level mitigation activities. The Commission has recommended retaining the existing cost sharing pattern between the center and the states. And cost sharing basis is like this, it is 75-25 for all states. That means 75% will come from the center, 25% will be good by the states only. Whereas it is 90-10 for northeastern and Himalayan states, where there is more help is needed, and therefore 90% comes from the center, 10% states have to manage, and this is how it is happening in the case of disaster management. This management is also there. It is about 28,000 crore, out of which share will be 20,000 crores. So National Disaster Risk Management Fund is also there. Like this, they have maintained, and even they have also clearly given how much money has to be given for the mitigation purpose, response and relief purpose, the recovery purpose, reconstruction purpose, capacity building purpose. They have given like this. I think in this table too, you will clearly know that 20% mitigation is given. That means around 2,000 crore for national course, and states are 5,000 like that. Response was 80%. Response and relief is 40%. Recovery and reconstruction is 30%. Capacity building is 10%. Like this, they put up the total amount is 12,000 crore for the national corpus, whereas 28,000 crore for the state corpus. And these 28,000 crores is going to these 29 states that have been clearly mentioned. Therefore, I think the recommendations are in a right path, what I believe, because they have taken care of the problems in the earlier Finance Commission and its effect on some of the states. Here, fiscal deficit and debt levels also they have been recommended that credible fiscal and debt trajectory has to be made, and it is more and more uncertainties are in the country. And this is one thing that in a credible fiscal and debt methodology. The second recommendation was both center and state should focus on debt consolidation and company with fiscal deficit and debt levels as per the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act. I think debt consolidation, this only the sentences are mentioned very clearly. The consolidation is not so easy. Debt is going on. In case of DST, you know, the problem. DST has not been paid. Compensation has not been paid. Therefore, the states are asked to borrow. But ultimately, states opposed it and then say that you have to borrow on behalf of the states and give it to us. And ultimately, they agreed. Or most of the states have agreed, except West Bengal. That is also agreed, I think. So the center will borrow and then give it to the state government as a compensation of the loss of the so-called GST. That is your goods and service tax. And then off-budget borrowing should also be reduced, what they say. Commission observed that financing capital expenditure through off-budget borrowing detracts from compliance of the FDRME Act, Financial Act. And this is therefore they wanted to say that center and state should have full disclosure of extra budgetary borrowings. The outstanding extra budgetary liability should be clearly identified and eliminated in time-bound manner. In other words, they wanted to have a fiscal prudency, we all they call it as. This prudency is expected. Then the second one is about the statutory management. Commission recommended forming an expert group, particularly for draft legislation to provide for. Hello, can I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Hello, sir.
Hello, audible. Okay.
Please make it a bit faster.
It's the last one. It's the last one. So here,
are there. Yeah.
Okay. Draft legislation to provide for a statutory framework and for the public finance management system, and it is also observed that legal fiscal framework is also mentioned, and tax capacity is also being given importance. Noted that tax revenue is below the estimated tax capacity, and therefore they wanted to say that you have to increase the tax capacity of the state governments and the central government. And in contrast, tax revenue has been raising on both emerging markets. Therefore, Commission recommended broadening the tax base, streamlining the tax rates, increasing the capacity, expertise tax administration, and these are all regional recommendations for everything. And finally, the financing the security related expenditure. Actually, the terms of reference was you have to have a separate 1% fund, relapsable fund for this defense purpose. They wanted to do it. But ultimately, they recommended that we should have a separate expert committee to deal with this. And therefore, in this expert committee of the defense minister, home minister affairs, finance, all these three grouped together, discuss what should be the amount needed for the defense. It should be relapsable or lapsable or not. And in this case, I think they have proposed certain things: non-lapsable fund, levy of tax, monetization of surplus land and other assets, tax-free defense bonds, and the proceeds should be invested in the disinvestment of the defense sector undertakings. This expert committee will propose an alternative funding mechanisms. And coming to the GST implementation, also we have a lot of problems, and here, therefore, they have recommended there should be the large shortfall will be there, and there are a lot of glitches will be there, and high volatility will be there, delay in refunds are there, and therefore Commission observed that these states' compensation should be again make it very clear. It suggested that structural implications for the GST has to be considered. In conclusion, I can say that the outbreak has created a lot of problems, and therefore Financial Commission, though it has not recommended, this 15th Finance Commission has recommended first time that there must be 2.5% of GDP to spend on health sector. The Commission has suggested very clearly to the Health Ministry that undertake the preparatory work for setting up the medical colleges in the district hospitals which are having 100 beds above. And similarly, there is a recommendation of district hospitals, training sites, other sectors. In other words, I can say that 15th Finance first report Commission recommendations are welcome, very pleasing to all the states, including southern states, which were raised earlier. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you very much, sir, for your elaborate display of everything, sir, related to the issues. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your coming, sir.
Okay,
thank you, sir.
I must see all these people who are there, including Professor Vice Chancellor
Veerbadrappa, sir.
On his chair. I'm very happy to see him, and also Madam Samata and Dr. Rangareddy also. I think
sir, Professor Veerbadrappa, sir, you can say. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for reminding us your lecture days, which we were in the department. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
And, good insights to use about 15th Finance Commission, which is going to be implemented soon. Since we don't have much of time, let us move on to listen to Professor A. Rangareddy on New Education Policy 2020. Professor Rangareddy is UGC Emeritus Fellow at Sri Venkateswara University in Tirupati. So I think we will have a good lecture from Professor Rangareddy. Sir, please go over to you.
Sir, please unmute your audio, sir. Respected sir, please unmute your audio, sir. Rangareddy, sir.
Hello, Professor Rangareddy, sir.
Sir, we can't hear you, sir, Professor Rangareddy, sir. You please unmute your audio, sir. Sir, please unmute your audio, sir.
Sir, we are seeing you online. Please unmute.
Yes, sir. There you can unmute, sir.
On your screen, left side down. On your screen, left side down, there is a mark, mute, unmute.
Yes, sir, you are unmuted now.
Done.
Oh, okay, you go.
Please sir, please welcome. Sir, you are welcome, sir.
Yes.
Yes, you are most welcome to our international conference, sir. Please, sir, please. And I am very happy to receive you, sir, here.
So
we are very happy, sir. We are very happy,
Kumar,
sir.
You release that video.
Oh, no. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. We'll release it.
Just okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. We are releasing it.
Meanwhile,
Audio.
Audio.
Audio is missing.
Devakaro. Right, Devakaro? Sheshkumar?
Sir, 1 minute. 1 minute, sir. They are
Whether
doing
it is audible?
Sir, you are audible, but your video, we are not getting the audio.
Oh, then I will go on this one.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. You proceed, sir.
Yeah, that
You
is
proceed, sir.
Respected Professor Veerabhadrappa, Vice Chancellor, my good friend R.J. Desai, and organizers, Professor Sheshikumar and C. Samatha and other Puttaswamy and other friends. Today, it is an opportunity for me to present my views over National Education Policy 2020. And the paper highlights the objectives of the new National Education Policy 2020 and its practicability in the socio-economic, political, cultural conditions of India. Education is the most effective means of social justice and personal advancement. There is no better investment than that in education to improve the future of society. Mark Twain said, education roots are bitter, but fruits are sweeter. Father of nation Mahatma Gandhi felt that education has been taken as a whole. A vocation is the best medium for all-round development of a boy or a girl. And therefore, the syllabus should be woven around vocational training. As per the 12th Finance 5-year plan document, just 5% of people between the ages of 19 and 24 received vocational education. The National Education Policy 2020 aims to break stereotypes and bring changes in the perception of vocational education. The school and college education are to be broadened to facilitate multiple paths to learning involving both formal and non-formal education modes. The new education policy represents a turning point in the regard. Abandoning the country's traditional approach, the NEP suggests an Indian educational sector that is increasingly open to engagement with foreign educational institutions. Whether Indian universities can now hold their own or as collaborators, along which these universities can take greater strides. Gone are the days when India's universities feared they would be overshadowed by foreign institutions. For growing and catalyzing quality resources in the nation, the NEP 2020 envisions the establishment of a national research foundation intending to allow a culture of research to permeate our universities. Swami Vivekananda, the son of the soil, who has beaconed the light of Indian culture, once observed, I would prefer playing to the football game in the open ground instead of reading the Bhagavad Gita within the four walls. Swami Vivekananda's observation laid stress on physical growth, which is said to be the psychometer domain, that is the skills. And John Dewey, a famous philosopher and psychologist of America, introduced the so-called learning by doing theory. This theory focuses the attention on the interaction of the pupil with the society at large. The knowledge which is being imparted in the curriculum cannot be complete unless and until it is put to practice in the society. This is the concept. He says it as a hidden curriculum, which helps the student to acknowledge the value of the values of both the individuals and societies by interacting with the society. Cultivating good values such as altruism, humility, honesty, cooperation, and sacrifice, and positive social attitude among the youth can enable the young to survive in the external world of disease, injustice, and criminality. Let us not forget our rich heritage. The Indian higher education system has a hallowed past. Nalanda, Takshashila universities in the 5th and 6th centuries were the highest centers of learning in the world. There are 4 benchmarks, and if we must reach anywhere near them, the constant innovation and tireless pushing of our quality standards are imperative. These universities of yore attracted students and scholars from all over the world by virtue of their erudite and eminent scholars and the high quality of their education they offered. Let's come for the new features of school education first. The national education policy is framed after many years of labor by a panel led by Dr. K. Kasturi Rangan and feedback of more than 2 lakh people, including stakeholders. It is found that the medium of instructions should be mother tongue up to grade 5th and curricular and pedagogical framework of 5+3+3+4. The curriculum is to integrate Indian culture and ethos at all levels. Vocational education will be found from the middle stage. Every child must learn at least one vocation and is exposed to several more. The teacher must undergo training in a 4-year integrated BEd degree by 2030. For a PhD, scholars of every subject must pass the module on teacher education is mandatory. The time has come to engage social workers, alumni, volunteers with the schools. State Council of Educational Research and Training will take care of academics. We will go for innovative pedagogies with experience and activity-based, integrating Indian art, sports, and information technology, national curricular and pedagogical framework for early childhood care and education for children up to the age of 8 will be implemented. All schools children to undergo regular health checkups and health cards will be issued. Public and private schools were assessed and accredited on the same criteria, benchmarks, and processes. Children will be provided energizing breakfast in addition to midday meals. Higher education, now coming for a new features of a higher education. Higher education institutions will be transformed into large multidisciplinary universities, colleges, and higher educational institutions clusters and knowledge hubs. University will be classified into research intensive universities, teaching intensive universities, and autonomous degree granting colleges. There will be a phasing out the system of affiliated college over a period of 15 years through a system of graded autonomy. At the undergraduate level, a multidisciplinary holistic education system will come into force. It will be integrated exposure to science, arts, humanities, mathematics, and professional fields with flexible curricular structures, creative combinations, integration of vocational education. The 4th year multidisciplinary bachelor program preferred options. Such a student, suppose a student studied 1 year's degree, a certificate, 2 years diploma, after 3 years bachelor's degree, academic bank of credit shall be established which would digitally store the academic credits earned. It is reaffirming the integrity of faculty and institutional leadership positions. It is clearly defined as an independent and a transparent process and criteria for faculty recruitment, tenure track, and incentive excellence. It will go to open and distance learning expanded, online courses and digital repositories, funding for research, improved student services, credit-based recognition of massive open online courses, that is a MOOCs, etc. It is a gesture to invite internationalization of education, allow entry of foreign universities, student and faculty mobility. A national scholarship portal will be expanded for financial support. Government of higher educational institutions will be with the independent boards have academic and administrative autonomy. Higher education under one umbrella. Higher Education Commission of India, the umbrella architecture body with 4 independent bodies for standard setting, funding, accreditation, and standard setting. That is, the standard setting means the General Education Council and professional standard setting bodies, the financial probity and public spiritedness, that is a transparent self-disclosure, faceless interventions through technology, powers to penalize higher educational institutions not conforming to norms and standards. Public and private higher educational institutions will be governed by the same set of norms for regulation, accreditation, and academic standards. It has taken stand alone. Technical universities, the health science universities, legal and agriculture universities able to become multidisciplinary institutions. The time has come for the integration of technology to improve classroom processes, support to teacher professional development, enhances educational access for disadvantaged groups, and streamline educational planning, administration, and management. We must promote online and digital education. Indian Institute of Translation and Interpretation is to be established. National Institute for Pali, Persian, and Prakriti will be set up. All educational institutions will be held to similar standards of audit and disclosures. It is desirable to designate MHRD as the Ministry of Education. Ramnath Kovind, President of India, noted that investment was only 0.7% of the GDP in India, is comparison to 2.8% in the US, 4.2% in South Korea, and 4.3% in Israel. Education is the most effective way for social justice, and hence national education policy calls for investment of about 6% of GDP jointly by the center and the states. Ramnath Kovind said further, national education policy emphasizes strengthening of a public educational institutions for a vibrant democratic society and inculcating respect among students for fundamental rights, duties, constitutional values, and patriotism. Socio-economic, political, cultural conditions, an acid test for us. In fact, the quality of school is the foundation for the education system. When rural India had a shortage of infrastructure facilities, the introduction of vocational courses, online facilities takes time. In earlier days, societies were on simple living and high thinking. Every activity was found transparent with accountability, so that society believed teachers as living gods. After parents, after independence, population growth, poverty levels, and pollution's intensity alarmingly raised in the country, so that to make quick money, cash, corruption, and criminality were found everywhere. including the education system, sale of teachers' post, sale of vice chancellor's post, selling of seats in colleges and universities were found common. As a democratic country, political interference is found at every point of entry of school to university, either student or employment or promotions. The level of existence of merit, character, and quality has becoming a billion-dollar question. Universities should work in autonomy, which is becoming a myth, and educational institutions depend upon state finances. State intervention is there at every point. Centuries together, Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, Humboldt universities were working without political interruptions. Our institutions could not be made them to run on their own legs. In the colleges, university campuses, political parties, student wings are very actively working and very often disturbing teaching, research, and administration on their ideologies. As employment in state and central universities were regular, nobody will question your actions and activities, as no question of a hire and fire policy, so that quality will be deteriorated and creativity is no more in the system. In India, cooking of facts and figures in the system is in the natural order. We are optimistic. National Education Policy 2020 may help to generate an honesty society, provided the ethical revolution enters the Indian society. In near future, it is quite doubtful and may be possible as atmosphere creates. Conclusion: after 34 years, new education policy 2020 is going to bring a new idea, new India. From the school level, we are introducing general and vocational courses so that a boy or girl can opt for self-employment or joining in higher education. The essence of past glory will be added to the courses so that students can carry the legacy and the heritage of India for future generations. Science, technology, digitalization, modernization of education will be taken place. The school, college, university curriculum, examination system, offering degrees, incentives for innovations, scholarship portal, foreign university are to be inculcated and invited in the education system. The lingering menaces like political interventions, corruptions, fake autonomy will go, and merit, quality, ethics will have penetrated, and India will becoming a global education hub as earlier like Nalanda and Tachashila. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Thank you,
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. You are clearly audible, and yes, sir. Thank you very much for your insightful lecture related to the issues of the new education policy, sir. You have covered everything, sir. Thank you very much for your visit to our university, sir, through online.
All of you, our good friends.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Over to Putswami, please.
Sir, thank you very much. So we missed the video, but we listened to directly. So thank you very much for once again listening in the department. Thank you very much. Now I call upon Professor Firdaus T. Shroff, who is a professor at University of Mumbai. Professor is a member of United Nations World Peace Campaign. He will be speaking about mantras for success. Sir, you are welcome to the international seminar of our university. So please over to you, sir.
Professor Firdaus Shroff, Professor Firdaus Shroff, sir. Hello, yes. Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening, sir.
How are you, sir? How are you,
fine,
sir?
Fine, sir. How are you all?
Bangalore? I am very much fine, sir. You are patiently listening all the lectures, sir. And very much happy. At this age, you are very enthusiasm. We should learn many things from you, sir. We should learn many things from you. Yes, please proceed, sir. Please, sir.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Can you
hear
me?
Sir, you are audible. Yes, sir.
Okay. At the outset, I would like to thank Venugopal sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Bangalore University, then Shashi Kumarji, Desai sir, Professor Virappa, then Punit, Krishna, Samta Deshmane, and other Ramana sir and other speakers we have heard now. So I would like to brief up because I think we are at the end of the session now. So everybody is now awaiting a break. So before we take a break, I will just take you for the mantras of...
No, sir. Never feel like that, sir. We are very happy to hear about you because you are an author, writer, actor, everything. Everything. Please proceed with our things.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sharing the slides. Can you see the slides, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everybody. So thank you very much for giving me a special lecture series 1, Learn and Fun-Filled session by Department of Economics. I will be sharing you some thoughts, mantras for success, pearls of wisdom, and how do we achieve professional excellence. That is, I call Apex Pathshala. I call this session as Pathshala, means going back to school. We always go up, I always go down. So back to school. So that is why when you go back to school, we keep learning. If you go on going up and up, you may not learn. So I always like to be at the bottom of the pyramid so that we keep learning every day. So just to give you a brief objective of the presentation. So from Shunya means 0 to hero. I will be motivating you, brain churning. As you must have heard about Shivji Samudra Manthan. He had removed poison from the sea and kept it in his throat. That is why he is known as Nilkant. So today also I am going to remove poison from your mind and give you some of the thoughts, mantras for success. And holistic development, positive thinking, time management, charge oneself, lead healthy mental, physical, and spiritual life. And that is the very need of the hour. Our students are very much disturbed in this present scenario. So spiritual life, at least to some extent, they may not go to higher extent, but at least to some extent, I am sure it will benefit them to remain stable. And last but not the least, to taking you to the peak flavor of humor, laughter, the best medicine. So I will start my journey. I started as a bearer in Taj Mahal Hotel in 1973, and then to director and actor. So life journey, observe steady graph of learning. I completed my schooling from Boys Town, Nasik in 1972. Then I joined Union Bank 4th March 74 as a stenographer. And my stenography speed is 90 words per minute. Typing and shorthand. So this is the way, and I started is in Bombay Dyeing. So my first working was after my Taj Mahal Hotel. I worked with Bombay Dyeing also, and my salary was then 200 rupees. So what I'm trying to settle the youth, the more is less. Jitna bhi milega, utna kam lagega. So we started from 200, we were happy, and today also whatever we are getting, we are happy. So it is not the spend that you earn more and more, you will become happy. No, that is not the criteria. Salary does not make you happy. So I'm going to share you how you will be making happy yourself. Then I went to Siddharth College, People Education Society, did my BA Economics. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, he is the founder of that Siddharth College, People Education Society. So now I am doing the delete on Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar and the Gautam Buddha, the Buddha and his Dhamma. So I am doing the 2 work of their books, and I will be coming out shortly for giving it as a DLit to any university. If your university is also giving DLit, I will be glad to present it to you also. So
certainly, sir. Certainly, sir.
inform me.
Let me see. Let me see the possibility, sir. Let me see the possibility.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See the possibility, no problem. Then I did law. I am a LLB advocate, High Court. Then I completed my banking, CIIB, studied Mumbai University for MA. Then banking, Baba Sahib Ambedkar thoughts I completed in 2018. Then took voluntary retirement, VRS from Union Bank of India after joining 74. So 2001, I took VRS. My father told me up to 45 years, you work for money. And after 45 years, let money work for you. So that is another first step to your mantra for success is don't keep on doing working till end. You should try to leave it before end. So I actually took voluntary retirement at the age of 45 years exactly. And since last now 15 years, I am here with you and as a professor, and I go to many universities across the globe. So that was my thing. And now took passion for acting and got roles to act with eminent actor Baman Irani. Sir, you must have heard no? Three Idiots and actor Mr. Baman Irani. So I have
Yes,
had the
yes, sir.
privilege of starting. Many of you must be knowing that. So Baman Irani and myself both started as a waiter too. He waiter to actor and I started waiter to director. And he was selling wafers and photography was his passion and he was a stage play as his hobbies. So our both of them life background is the same. And I'm Zoroastrian Bank Director, Independent Director, LIC Housing, Senate member of Savitri Pune Phule University, Governor of Maharashtra nominee, and WCPA member, UN 75 World Peace Campaign, and UN Talent Pool. I'm also a Lions Club International. It's a very huge NGO. Many of you must be knowing it regarding Lions International. So, an Institute Clinical Legal Education, National Vice President, Civil Rights Protection Cell, Nagpur. So this was in brief. And what I wanted to show you earlier, that every year continuously, I am been acquiring one degree or the other. So I always tell students, the teachers, the professors, never sit back. Keep doing something, whatever you like. It is not that whatever I have done, you should also do the same thing. And whatever you like in your activities or whatever things you want to take up, any diplomas, degrees, certificate, you keep on acquiring. This is how you learn. Otherwise, if you don't give exams and all, we don't have the interest of learning. So when you appear for exams and do something and you get the certificate, you feel really proud. So keep on acquiring because these number of years now which has gone will never come back. That is what I have gathered. So everybody is the same thing. Years will keep on passing. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. But if within that every year, what have you achieved? You should take a call. So keep a notebook brief. So whatever you are planning to do and whatever you have achieved, always you should try to do better and better daily. So always dare to venture out. As you can see the fish coming out of water and going to another ball. So if you want something you never had, do something you have never done. Don't go the way life takes you. Leaders take life the way you want to go. And remember, you are born to live and not living because you are born. And remember, winners don't do different things, but they do things differently. So every time you should do something which inspires you and do it differently. Don't try to copy. Usne kiya, I also follow that. No, do it differently. You are the master of your own self. And first and foremost step to success is believing in yourself is the first step for success. You cannot spell success without you. If you see the success spelling SUCCESS, so without you, you cannot spell success. So always remember, my dear friends, that if you are a successful person, then it is you and you alone. Always try. And if you are not a successful person, that also the you and you alone. Don't blame others. Nobody can make me successful or nobody can take me bottom. It is up to me how I go ahead. And lots of problems will come. Life is a full of problems. Without problems, life is nothing. So how to overcome those difficulties? The success is the first step to success. Failures, you should not taking as a failure, but it is the first step to success. Failure should be used as a launching pad for success. So failure should not be used as a failure, because when I fail, when I win, I win. But when I fail, I learn. So whenever the failure comes, I keep learning. And there is nothing in this world that you cannot fail in your A. I have also failed so many times in my examination, but till date, nobody has asked me, sir, how many times you have failed. It is just a success, stepping stone. Failure bhi aaya, but that was a very good thing. I learned so many things because it was a revision for me. So that is also we should take as a good spirit. And youngsters, they give hope that I failed. No, you are not failing. Always remember, one examination you fail, you should not give up your life. That is not an end. You should try to again work hard and see that you are successful. So never give up. Then the world's biggest problem is that intelligent people are full of doubts, and while stupid people are full of confidence. You must have seen the movie Three Idiots of Baman Irani. So this is a photo, and the title I have taken it from there. So always remember, you have got intelligent, but then you are full of doubts. But while stupid people, so always be stupid. Even though you are intelligent, it is okay one side. But remain as a stupid, because stupid people are full of confidence. And by being stupid, you will learn so many things. Because nobody wants to overcome or overpower other person. So you should always say, sir, I don't know. Then he will try to teach you. But if you tell someone that I know more than what you know, then I think he will show you the way. So always try to be humble and down to earth. Never try to overcome मैं हूँ. That is a movie ने मैंने किया. If anybody has done अच्छा किया तो I have done. बुरा किया तो if somebody else has done. Always this is we have done. The team. Teamwork is very essential. Team means together everyone achieves more. So that is the team spirit. So always remember, you have to work together. Individually you cannot, but collectively you can do wonders. So I just like to pay homage to our late Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, former president, Bharat Ratna, lost his Ratna. That's the jewel. The student asked question to Honorable APJ sir, what is success? So Abdul Kalam sir beautifully replied. So he says, when your signature turns to autograph. So whenever a person coming to you for an autograph, so you consider yourself to be a successful person. So that is what he has given it in a very good one-liner. And secondly, I came across recently, can we teach our generation that a car is not the symbol of success and walking does not mean poverty? Generally, we think a person who is walking on the street is a very poor person, is having poverty. No, it is not the thing. And the person who is going in the car and all is not a symbol of success or is a rich person. In fact, if you want to become rich, is not by money, but by the values you should have. As Bhagavad Gita, spiritual learning should be there. Our spiritual holy books you should study and try to gain that. Yeah, that is the jewel actually. And become the man of value, not man of wealth. पैसा कुछ नहीं होगा, but value आपके अंदर होनी चाहिए. Then you can become a strong holding and your mindset is also strong. Physically, mentally, spiritually. Then another thought I have taken from Abdul Kalam sir. He says, I had a sparrow as a pet and it flew away one day. Then I had a squirrel, but it ran away too. I then planted a tree and they both came back. Dr. Kalam sir. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you should not get disappointed. If it is sparrow or pet has flew away, don't worry. Try to bring it back, plant a tree, and they both came out. So whatever you have lost, don't worry. You try to see now how you can do better and bring the lost glory to yourself. So now we have not changed, But can you see the picture? Shashi sir, can you see?
Yes, sir. It's visible. It's visible, sir. It's visible.
What is the difference, sir?
Yeah, you will have to mention, sir. You will have to say.
Then can you see some difference?
Yes, some difference. We can identify some difference. Some differences is there.
What is there, sir?
Some lines.
You want only some.
Elephant.
Maybe you will have to enlarge.
Acha, enlarge. Can you not see?
Yes, sir. We can see in the center. Center is different.
Yeah, center is different.
The first figure is
right.
Just the body.
So can you tell me? Hello. Can anyone tell me which is the oldest animal on this planet?
Sir, the first figure is the
oldest animal on this planet.
Yes.
Still living, oldest, and still on this planet. Which is the one? Can you say one or two example?
Zebra.
Zebra. Okay, why?
Reason I don't know.
Reason you don't know. Achha. Any other animal? Anyone? Attempt?
Sir, maybe crocodile.
Crocodile. Very good. Okay. Anyone? Think.
Tortoise, sir. Tortoise.
Tortoise. Okay. Very good. Tortoise.
Man.
Man. Okay. Man also is a social animal, right?
Animal.
Sir?
Yes.
Oldest. The person who said zebra is right, but he was not able to give me the answer why zebra is the oldest living animal on this planet. Because it is still black and white, sir. Even our TVs have become color. 71, 72, sir. So zebra has still not become color. It's still black and white. So it is the oldest animal on this planet, according to me, sir. Right, sir? Shashi, sir?
Right, sir. Because you have done a lot of research on it, no? It's right. It's right. It's right, sir.
Okay.
Sir, as a moderator, I am to remind the time, sir. Yeah, please keep the time, sir.
Okay. 5 minutes more. How much time now?
Yeah, another 5 minutes, sir, because we have another session.
Okay, after that, I am the last speaker, sir. Or is there anybody?
After yours, one more session is there, sir. Paper presenters are there.
I see, I see.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So I will just take you.
Always
walk extra mile to help someone. And Dhanteras is the real dhan. Wealth is our health. So today, during pandemic period, let us pray for each other and our families for the best of health for everyone, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And thank God that we are alive today by His grace. So that is the one reason. And always remember your brain, mercurial energy, cerebral energy. It is said our brain has got such a powerful energy for sustenance, dissolution. Always new, always different, always explosive, and amazing. Begin your day with the gift of serenity prayers. God, give me serenity to accept things I cannot, and the wisdom to know the difference. Always be happy, be jolly, be cheerful. In prayer, I do not know. I do not know anything. I do not know what I know. I do not know what I do not know. I know nothing. I want nothing. And I am nothing. This is totally, our life is only zero. Whatever you do, it will be in a circle. And by the end, you will be seen that we have not done anything. So don't get disappointed. You just keep on doing. And Dasara is 10 qualities within you, 10 bad qualities you should remove. Ego, cruelty, injustice, lust, anger, greed, pride, jealousy, attachment, selfishness. So these are the 10 things you should know, mantras for success. If you want to be going ahead, don't keep on taking yourself. Andar se bahar nikalo. Don't try to allow them to enter your body. Just make it outside. Andar aane nahi dene ka. So you have the day. And moj lo, enjoyment, roj lo daily, and na mile to khoj lo. So if you don't find enjoyment outside, then find within. You will always be there. And in my session, sir, I give best graduation degree in life. Generally, we gave, Bangalore University gives BCom. I give Be Calm, to serve with gratitude. So when they attend my sessions, I give them the degree of Be Calm. So entrepreneurship is passion to learn, fire in the belly, be job creators and not job seekers. So everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. प्रभु खोज लो, सर्च आउटसाइड एंड ने से नहीं, खो जाने से मिलता है. सर्च विद इन. You will not find a God outside your whatever things you are searching. Search within yourself. God is residing in you. And these are the three dynamic personality, how you should try to develop to be a successful mantra. This is given by Bhagavad Gita. So ego should be no beginning, no end. Mind should be calm and body should be active. So mind, the body and the intellect, you have to develop thing. Always mind should be calm for professors or teachers or for any human being. And ego should be like this index finger, that it should be no beginning, no end. It should be in a circle thing. And body should be active. And you must have heard about diamond in you, Arindatu Chaudhary. He has given the carat of a diamond, how you should see. The first is carat, cut, color, and clarity. The four C's to be seen in your diamond within you. So you have to develop these four characters so that you will also be human diamond and your value will be higher. Then always time management. Learn to manage time or else time will manage you. Guarantee for a watch. Only busy person has time. Other kind has no time. Somebody says, I am busy. That means he is whiling away his time. Never say you are a busy. Always give your time to others. And in the past, we had time but no watch. Today, we have watch but no time. So nobody has time to see the watch also. Everybody is running. And where they are running, we never know. So if you want comfortable journey of life, then reduce the luggage of expectations. Work more than others, learn more than others, and expect less than others. We always say rest in peace after demise of person. Why don't we say live in peace when the person is alive? So I always tell persons, live in peace. Rest in peace. By the time when you say rest in peace, he will not be there to listen to you. So always give him live in peace. When he's alive, we harass him so much that he ultimately has to be rest in peace. He cannot survive. So make him happy. And happy World Marriage Day. When you are in love, wonders happen. But once you get married, you wonder what happened. By all means, marry. If you get a good wife, you will be happy. If you get a bad one, you will become a philosopher, Socrates. And marriage is a beautiful forest where brave lions are killed by beautiful deers. So love is happy when it able to give something. Don't be the owner of love, be the donor of love. The ego is happy when it's able to take something. So never keep on expecting anything. Whenever you want to give selflessly. And I will just like to share one thought of Swami Vivekananda. A disciple is asking Swamiji, what is the meaning of richness? So Swamiji beautifully replies, richness is not earning more or saving more or spending more. Richness is when you need no more. So you should know when to put full stop. Every time people keep comma, and ultimately he ends up in ICU comma mein. So always remember when your turn comes to comma, that means you have forgotten to put a full stop of Swami Vivekananda. So before that it goes to an extent of comma to ICU. So please put full stop. Remember Swami Vivekananda. Life is the most difficult exam. Many people fail because they try to copy others, not realizing that everyone has a different question paper. So always don't try to copy anything. This is not the thing that you should copy. Life is a different question paper. And look at the moon to see the beauty of God. Look at the sun to see the power of God. And look at the mirror to see the beautiful creation of God. So have you ever seen yourself ever inner within in your mirror? See the self, how beautiful inside. So always you should try to cleanse from inside, not from outside. So Gautam Buddha left the palace in search of peace, and we are in search of palace at the cost of peace. So this is another mantra for success. Don't try to live what whatever the physical things, give in a spiritual thing. And always remember, Mahatma Gandhi says, more is less. Earth has everything for man's needs, but not for his greed. So we are actually have become greedy. So try to live within your means. And no one has ever become poor by giving. And someone asked clown, why do you wear mask? He beautifully replied, he says, everyone wears it, only mine is seen. So we have got a hidden mask. So that is the time of life. And lastly, now Bill Gates versus attachment. Attachment is not when two people chat day and night. Attachment is not when two people can't live without each other. Attachment is not two people can't stay away from each other for a moment. But when the boss sends an email to you, subject as increment letter, and the attached file is missing, that missing file is called attachment. And this is a very good thing. I versus I. Be down to earth. Open your eyes and close your eye. I, me, mine. मैं हूं ना, वो सब नीचे रखिए. So keep your eyes open and find good in people and ignore the bad in them. No one is born perfect. So everybody has got something or the other. Try to see is the better things, not the weak things in any person. So company of good people is like walking into a shop of perfume. Whether you buy the perfume or not, you are bound to receive the fragrance. Then relationship versus stapler. So always remember, when you put a staple on your paper, but you can't remove it. So your relationship is also like that. When you remove it, there will be a holes. So you should maintain your relation in a very better manner. Then baby fish is asking mummy fish, mummy, why fish will live in water, not on earth? The mummy says, baby, fish will live in water. On earth, selfish people stay. So that is why we are here. So never be selfish, be selfless. And out of one tree, you can make one like matchstick. And one matchstick can burn the entire tree. So avoid your anger, your ego, greed, hatred. So I have become mad now, making a difference. So are you? All the best. So फिर मिलेंगे, and God bless, sir. Now it is time for you to act wisely.
Thank you very much, sir, for your enlightened, experienced deliberations, sir. Thank you very much, and thanks for your coming to online to our international conference, sir. We are very grateful to you, sir. Thankful as well as grateful to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Over to Putsomaya, sir, please.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for giving a wonderful lecture. It's really different than what we had listened earlier. So very good, sir. You have from waiter to director. That's a very good life experience. Yeah. Okay. You can become a philosopher yourself. So that way, I think you have wonderful thoughts to give to young generation like us. Whatever it is, sir. Really, we are thankful from Bangalore University and all our side. Since we don't have much time, we have to move to the next session. I would like to move on to our chairman, Professor Samata Deshmane, to take the session.
Thank you very much.
Madam, unmute madidira.
Coordinator of this
unmute madilla.
Dr. R. Kumar sir,
1 minute. Madam.
P. Ramana sir, and our session moderator.
Madam, madlinda heli.
Sir, Bangalore University, Gnanavarthi Bangalore University and Indian Association for Science Fiction Studies, the 19th annual and the 5th International Science Fiction Congress, the Humanities and Social Sciences, the coordinator of this 3-day session, Dr. R. Shashikumar sir, Deputy Coordinator, Dr. P. Ramana sir, and session moderator, Dr. S. Putsomaya sir, Associate Professor, Department of Economics, Bangalore University, Bangalore. And today, wonderful, the special lecture 1. First, starting to end, we have taken very useful, fabulous insights from the experts, Professor B.P. Veerabhadrappa sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Kuvempu University, Shankaraghatta, Shivamogga, and Professor Bawaji NT, and Dr. M.N. Ramesh sir, Professor R.G. Desai sir, and Professor A. Rangareddy sir, and Professor Firoz Sharaf sir. They have given very insightful to the related to the economics and fiction, the implementing World War III man versus virus and global security, the pandemic environment and the society, the Indian Fifth Finance Commission first report, and alliances, new education policy 2020, and the last very fabulous and insightful views we have taken from the Professor Feroz sir, the mantra of the success. Sir, thank you very much. Behalf of Bangalore University International Science Fiction Congress 2020, the all experts given very useful and insightful the future plans, the roadmap of the fiction of next generation also. Behalf of Bangalore University, Indian Association for Science Fiction Studies and the Humanities and Social Science. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much once again.
Yes, I am very much thankful to all our beloved speakers today. We are all very much happy to see Professor Rangareddy sir, Professor R.G. Desai sir, Professor Veerabhadrappa sir, and Shroff sir, and even Nache, and everybody, and Ramesh sir. So we are very happy. We are delighted by listening all your speech. We are very happy, sir. And in the same way, we are going to meet in the coming days, sir, through online as well as offline, sir. From the side of Bangalore University, we are very much thankful to you, sir. Namaste. Good evening, sir. Namaste. Namaste, sir. Namaste, sir.
Sir, next session again.
Yes, next session will follow us now within 5 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a yes, the same thing will be continued after 2 or 3 minutes. I request all our next session people to be wait for about 2 to 3 minutes. We are going to close now, and the same link will be given to you, and you can come with the same link in the next coming session, please. Thank you all.